today we're going to be talking about a topic that you've probably been told about millions of times, but also probably ignored every single time. And it is about having a clearly defined niche or clearly defined ideal client. Why is it so important? When I started working with clients online, without calling it luck, because it wasn't luck, I knew there was a trend coming, I saw an opportunity to work with clients online. A reason I did so well is that there weren't that many other people doing it, right? Or there were, but it wasn't as abundant, it wasn't as readily available as it is today. So when I launched Project Lean, which was a 4-week weight loss challenge, I could just launch Project Lean, the 4-week weight loss challenge for anybody that wants to lose weight, who didn't know how to, who were maybe training but didn't understand nutrition. That was about as defined as it was. And that was okay then. Fast forward to today, 4 or 5 years later, however long it's been, and that doesn't work anymore because there are probably a million people targeting people online who want to lose weight. Right? It just doesn't work. Everybody now, not everybody, but a lot of people, hundreds and thousands of personal trainers and companies are fighting for that audience, this huge audience, right? And it makes it so hard if you don't have a clearly defined niche. Now, a lot of people ignore the advice to niche down because they see a few people who have big names who aren't clearly niched, right? They just work with anyone, like Joe Wicks maybe. And they think, oh, if they're like that, then I don't want to niche down. But you're not those people. Yeah, one day, 1 in a million of you might get to that point where you don't need a clearly defined niche. But the reality is, for pretty much everybody else, you need to have a clear understanding of who your audience is, who you want to work with, who your ideal client is. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about how to carve a place in this internet highway for you, your business, and the people that you help so that you can find enough clients to work with. And even when I say people like Joe Wicks, they don't have a clearly defined niche, they do. It's people who resonate with their personality and the way they get their message across. It's still like, we may not know what that niche is or the personality and psychological and behavioral traits that their common buyers have, but there will be things in common that their audience possess or their regular buyers possess. What that means is it's not just gender, for example. A lot of, I'll speak to a trainer and it's like, who do you want to work with? Women. Oh, wow, great niche. Billions of women. We need to dig deeper. So if you came to me and said, Sukh, I want to build an online training business. Okay, cool. Who do you want to work with? Women. What do you want to help them with? Weight loss. Okay. How much weight have they got to lose? Don't know. Okay. Are they experienced in the gym? No, not really. Okay, cool. Are they scared of the gym? Do they hate the gym? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, cool. Are they married? Do they have kids? Do they own their home? Do they buy things on the internet regularly? What social media platforms are they on? What are their opinions towards nutrition? What have they tried in the past? What are their aspirations? What do you think they'd be willing to do right now to change? Do you think you need to speak to them on the phone? What's their heaven? Like where they want to get to, what's their hell, what are their fears, right? What are they scared of happening if they don't take action? Are they dreading social occasions because they're worried that when they walk in the room, people will realize that they've gained weight, they're a lot bigger than they used to be? Is it that they dread looking in the mirror? Do they dread going clothes shopping? Like, what are the personality traits? You may say to me, no, they're confident as hell, but they just want to get a bit leaner because they want to be healthier. Okay, cool. Let's create content around that. Let's create a piece of content that says, are you fed up of personal trainers telling you that you feel terrible every time you look in the mirror? Where in reality, you feel great, but you know that you just need to lose a little bit of weight to be healthy. There's your niche. If you want to build a profitable online fitness business, you're going to have to find out who your niche is, and you will have one, right? You will have one. And a lot of people are afraid to turn their back on big audiences. That's why a lot of the time when I speak to trainers, it's, I want to help women lose weight. And I say, okay, cool, we need a better idea of who this ideal client is. It can't just be female fat loss. And there's a lot of fear that by niching down, you're going to turn your back on a huge amount of people. But the reality is, if your niche is vegan, yoga, loving CrossFitters, there's enough for you to earn a great living. But vegan, yoga loving CrossFitters, I guarantee there are a few thousand. You don't need a few thousand, you just need 50. And you could make an amazing amount of money. So we need to get away from that fear. My most successful campaigns that I've run for other people, my private clients, my students who have the most success in terms of their marketing are the ones that know how to niche down. I have a student called Liam. He's generating 12 leads per day from his Facebook ads for £1.25. £1.20 or £1.80. Not £1.80 per lead, £1.80 for 12 leads. I think that's 15p per lead, right? Which is insane, right? It's like printing money. The reason being, instead of focusing on a huge audience, he's focusing on still a big audience, but runners, and he's helping them solve a specific problem. So he's niched down to runners, then niched down further in his marketing or his lead magnet or his free download to helping them with one specific problem. I've just done this with another one of my students called Jack. Jack helps women lose weight. However, he's focused on a specific problem with his marketing, right? And that's binge eating, the binging challenge that a lot of his audience struggle with. And because he's niched down to that in his marketing, yeah, he can still be targeting the women's weight loss niche, but he's niched down further in his messaging so that the people come to him like, yeah, that's the thing I'm struggling with, right? Binge eating. Help me with that. And then, yeah, there's still a women's weight loss client, but they're a women's weight loss client who had that one particular problem. Jack knew it because he'd surveyed his audience, which is something that I teach within the OFB course. He'd done that, so he knew exactly how to speak to them. And he's put his ebook out and he's crushed it. He's generated hundreds of leads in like a week, something crazy like that. So that's why you need to niche, right? It's going to make everything easier. Marketing, selling your services, and delivering your services as well. It's going to make it easier to systemize what you do. It's going to make it easier to automate what you do because you're working with the same kind of people. It's going to make everything easier, right? If we know that our audience respond to certain topics and certain stories, and the way I explain it is think of a timeline from someone going from hell to heaven. You have to be able to speak to that person throughout that journey. What's their hell? Speak about their fears, their pain points. You may be aware of that kind of concept. Speak about their pain points, their fears, what they don't want to happen to them, or where they are right now. They could be in their hell right now. They've let themselves go so far that they are living that nightmare, and they've let themselves slip into that. But you need to be able to talk about that. You need to talk about the journey they may go on, maybe through testimonials or case studies, or just understanding what the first step is for them, or the middle ground is for them. And you also need to be able to talk about their aspirations and their heaven and where they want to get to. Don't just focus on making people feel like shit. Give people hope and make them feel great about what they could achieve as well. So we can't do that if we just think, okay, I want to work with everyone, because it's not specific enough.